Today at the Court of Appeals in Edmonton, the Fort McKay First Nation's lawyers will make their argument to overturn the Alberta Energy Regulator's approval of the Prosperous Rigel oil sands project in the Athabasca area. This court action is a last resort to persuade Alberta to protect Fort McKay's treaty rights. Nonetheless, the community still hopes that Alberta's new government will approve the Moose Lake Plan and its provisions for responsible development so that government, industry, and the First Nation can get back to working together. Danielle Smith from Global News Radio 770 CHQR joins us to continue this conversation. A lot to unpack here, Danielle, but what is the First Nation looking for?
Well, there's a couple of things I should start off with. Prosper Energy a year ago got this approval from the Alberta Energy Regulator to do their in situ project in the area. And so this would have been in June 2018, and they've been waiting and waiting and waiting for it to be approved. I interviewed them, and they said they didn't understand what the holdup was. Well, now we know what the holdup is. It's in this area where there had been a second consultation going on in the Environment Department to try to build a buffer zone 10 kilometers around the two lakes that are in the Moose Lake region. And I think it blindsided the Fort McKay First Nation because they thought that this process had been going on for, I think, about 20 years, where they were trying to solidify an area to protect for their traditional hunting and fishing and trapping area so that they would have no development. Meanwhile, all of a sudden, the Alberta Energy Regulator comes in and approves this project. The main issue is that they have this massive processing plant that would be in this area. And you can well imagine, once you put large development in, you've got road access that you need, you've got things that are fenced off, and it makes it impossible for them to use the land in the traditional way. So what they're trying to do is to try to get the decision to grant the approval to the Prosper project overturned, and then presumably find some other location for the site. So there's a couple of things that we need to do here. We need to understand why it is that the government didn't have its two agencies talking to each other. Why is it that the Alberta Energy Regulator didn't know about the Moose Lake Plan or went ahead and approved it even though that had been under development? Why did it take so long to tell Prosper that they had this fundamental conflict? Because Prosper's been sitting there waiting to invest, and they've been wondering what the holdup is, and how is there some way to be able to accommodate them both? I mean, whenever you hear First Nations being opposed to a project, it's easy to say, oh, well, they're opposed to everything, but that is not how Fort McKay operates. They have massive numbers of partnerships across the whole range of large companies. They want to work with the community or with the businesses. I think they've had something like $800 million worth of projects that they have worked in collaboration. They just want this concession. And so the only action that they were able to take was to launch court action, and now they're asking for the government to respond to it. When I spoke with the chief yesterday, Mel Gramjam, he said that he still hasn't received a response from the energy minister or the environment minister. So this was really the only course of action they could take.
Yeah, fair enough. I know you're getting the inside scoop on this one, Danielle, so have a good show. Should be a good conversation.
Thank you.